You know the type. The person who walks into a room like they're the main character in a movie that only exists in their head. Yep. That overinflated ego dresses up as self-confidence, but it reeks of desperation. And the worst part? It wants an audience. Applause, likes. And if you don't give it to them, they lose it. Take it easy. No need to grab your emotional shield or set off fireworks of resentment. Today, I'm going to show you how to disarm these walking self-promotion bombs with the surgical chill of a T-Rex who's seen plenty of fake poses crash and burn. And hey, before anyone gets too excited, this isn't a manual for public humiliation. The goal isn't to be a smarter jerk. It's to stop being manipulated by narcissists who turn their insecurity into a show. You've probably met these characters, the coworker who treats every Zoom call like it's a TED Talk, the friend who lives like they're starring in a motivational reality show, or that relative with an opinion on everything, even when they clearly don't understand a thing. Relax. I'm not here to teach you how to hit back. I'm here to teach you how to dismantle. Because if Nietzsche knew one thing, it was how to spot people hiding behind masks to cover up their emptiness. But first, hit that subscribe button before you go extinct. The first technique for dealing with inflated egos is so simple it almost hurts. And that's exactly why it works. It's called strategic indifference. It's not disdain, not contempt. It's that cool, steady calm that makes the other person wonder, wait, maybe I'm not all that. My mustached buddy Nietzsche put it bluntly, he who fights with monsters should be careful not to become one. In today's terms, if you feed the ego show, you become part of the performance. Because an egomaniac doesn't just want attention, they want emotion. If you get annoyed, they win. If you try to compete, they win. If you defend yourself, boom. The stage is theirs and you just became a background actor. So here's the trick. Don't react. Don't compliment, don't correct, don't argue. Just give the face of someone listening to a weather report. Like, yesterday, I closed $1 million deal with a Dubai investor. Cool. Did you see the CEO complimented me in front of the whole team? Nice. And move on like you just heard something about traffic conditions. Want to starve an ego? Take away the main course, your attention. This technique is gold on social media. Over-the-top humble brag, silence. Motivational video with dramatic quotes and a Starbucks cup, silence. The narcissist's self-esteem algorithm crashes when nobody engages. Remember, the ego needs an audience. You don't need to leave the room, you just don't need to clap. And if indifference makes the ego sweat, the next move makes it trip over its own words. It's the power of a well-placed question. Simple, direct, no irony, no sarcasm, no raised eyebrows. You just drop the bait and let the fish flop around. For example, they say, I'm just super authentic, I don't care what people think of me. You calmly ask, really? Then why do you act so differently depending on who's around? Or the classic, I was born to lead, always have been. You ask, with the curiosity of someone checking the time. If it's so natural, why do you have to say it so often? It's like poking a weak spot with a flower. These questions don't challenge head-on. They make the ego look in the mirror and not recognize the reflection. Nietzsche called that forcing someone to face the truth they've spent their whole life avoiding. Some people memorize a script their whole life. One good question can make them look like a bad improv act. The key? Stay calm. The calmer you are, the louder their discomfort will sound. They start stumbling, repeating themselves, going in circles, because the ego can't handle being cornered by plain logic. And the best part, you don't need to raise your voice or say they're wrong, just ask. If they're not sure of themselves, they'll fall apart trying to prove they are. And if you thought ignoring someone was harsh, wait until you see what a well-timed compliment can do. But let me be clear, this isn't about sarcasm, it's about emotional precision. The idea here is to use a compliment as a mirror, but not the kind that reflects what someone wants to show, the kind that reveals what they're trying to hide. Let's go to the examples. They keep posting selfies with filters, deep captions, and forced hashtags. You say, publicly, with a sincere smile, I really admire your courage to put yourself out there like that. I could never post unless I was completely secure in my looks. Boom. Or that coworker who always has something to say without knowing the basics. I honestly admire how you speak up on every topic, even the ones you haven't studied. That takes a level of confidence most people don't have. Sounds like a compliment, right? But the narcissist's brain goes into meltdown mode because the praise hits exactly the spot they try to cover up. And worse, it's in public. It's not an attack. It's a poisoned gift wrapped in admiration. They walk away unsure if they were celebrated or exposed. In the US, where image is currency and fake it till you make it is practically a religion, this technique is emotional terrorism. Because egos don't just crave applause, they crave public validation, and a surgical compliment has the power to flip that validation into self-doubt. Is that how people really see me? Can they tell I'm insecure? The doubt sets in. The mask starts to slip. And you're still there, sipping your coffee. The beauty of it? You didn't raise your voice. You just flipped the switch. Now tell me, if silence shakes you, who's really in control? It's easy to look strong when you're shouting. What's hard is staying grounded when no one reacts, when there's no applause, no likes, no audience. That's when the ego screams the loudest, and that's when you see who's really in control and who's just desperately begging for attention. Nietzsche didn't want to create cold monsters. He wanted people who didn't need others' approval to exist, people who don't need to win arguments, because they've already won the biggest one, not needing to prove anything to anyone. And let me tell you, in a world where everyone's trying to be seen, the one who doesn't need the spotlight is the one who really unsettles people. Ready to start? Next time that coworker shows off, that post oozes with forced accomplishment, or someone drops a rehearsed line hoping for applause, just watch. Don't argue, don't compliment, don't react. Watch how they squirm in the silence of your indifference. And if you can do that without turning into a jerk, congrats. You're already on the path to becoming someone who, as the philosophical mustache would say, doesn't live by other people's rules. You live by your own. Oh, and if you like this, you know the drill. Hit that subscribe button before the world ends. Now tell me, do you control your ego, or are you still a prisoner of applause?